Welcome to the U.S. Constitution Series, Session 6, Article 4, 6, and the 10th Amendment. This video will cover the following information: the relationship between the states and the national government, and federalism. The Articles of Confederation allowed the states to have almost all the power over the national government. The framers of the Constitution created a new form of government with the writing of the Constitution. Our nation uses a federal form of government. This means that power is divided between the central government and local governments. Both forms of government work simultaneously to create, enforce, and interpret laws. The framers wanted to strike a balance between the two different levels of government. Article 4 addresses the relationship among states. Under the Articles of Confederation, each state was allowed to keep its own sovereignty. This caused conflict between the states. In order to alleviate these conflicts, the framers addressed the common issues in the Constitution. Full faith and credit. Each state must respect or recognize the laws, public records, and court decisions of every other state. For instance, if you obtain a driver's license in Missouri at the age of 16, it is a valid driver's license in New Jersey, where you must be 17 to obtain a driver's license. Privileges and immunities. No state can discriminate against a resident of another state. For instance, the fine for driving over the speed limit should be the same in Missouri for both residents and non-residents. Extradition. A person charged in any state with treason, felony, or other crime and runs from justice must be returned to the state the crime was committed on request from the governor. For instance, if you robbed the McDonald's and are charged with a crime, you are not allowed to leave the state. If you do, the governor can ask the other state to send you back. New states. Only Congress has the power to create and admit new states to the Union. Territories. Congress has the power to make laws and create courts in all territories. Protection. The national government guarantees to every state a republican form of government, defense against outside attacks of its borders, and at the request of the state legislature or governor to put down internal disorders. In other words, the national government must allow free state elections and selection of representatives, and protection for each state from outside invasion. Article 6 covers the power of the federal government over the state governments. The Supremacy Clause states that no state may make or enforce any law that conflicts with any provision of the Constitution, an act of Congress, a treaty, or an order, rule, or regulation properly issued by the President or his subordinates in the executive branch. In other words, federal law is the supreme law of the land, and states must follow it. Article 6 also covers that public officials at every level of government must take an oath of office and pledge their allegiance to the Constitution of the United States. Amendment 10 lays the foundation for reserved powers. Reserved powers are powers given to the states. Amendment 10 says, the powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited to it by the states, are reserved to the states, respectively, or to the people. The general rule of thumb is if a power is mentioned in the Constitution, it is not a reserved power. For instance, the right to declare war is given to Congress and prohibited to the states in Article 1. To declare war cannot be a reserved power. This is an exclusive power or an inherent power of the federal government. The power to tax is given to Congress, but there is nothing limiting states from taxing. Therefore, states can tax as well. This is a concurrent power. However, the Constitution is silent on how old you need to be to obtain a driver's license. This is a reserved power of the state. Each state gets to decide what age is appropriate for their citizens. As you can see, the framers implemented the idea of federalism in the Constitution through the creation of Articles 4, 6, and the 10th Amendment. In this session, we have learned about the relationship between the states and the national government, and federalism. After watching the video and taking notes, go to Quizlet to help review the information. There will be a formative quiz tomorrow in class to check your knowledge over Article 4, 6, and the 10th Amendment.